The Endless Golf Podcast, brought to you by Toyota.
Welcome to another edition of the Endless Golf Podcast presented by Toyota. Joining me is the Director of Golf from Glenriddle Golf Club, John Good. And John, it's great to have you on the podcast. And we just finished up doing an episode of Endless Golf, got a chance to play a couple holes on the Man of War golf course here at Glenriddle. Nice birdie on 18, by the way.
Thank you. I was due for one.
He got robbed on 14. He lifted out, so he could have went birdie this morning. But just a tremendous place to play golf. When I'm with you, we normally talk about the golf courses here, War Admiral and Man of War, and we've kind of found a little spot here on the War Admiral golf course, right on the black tee, the back tee here on War Admiral. And what a beautiful view it is. There's so many beautiful views here on both golf courses.
I love it right out here. They actually cleared out a bunch of the brush and everything to kind of open it all up, and now you have this nice little scenery like we had behind us. Beautiful.
John, it is absolutely gorgeous here on both golf courses, and it's amazing how you arrived here. Your sister actually worked here first. Your mom and dad retired to the area, but your golf journey really began back in Stafford, Virginia. Your dad introduced you to the game of golf, and you played a lot of golf in Fredericksburg as well.
Yeah, that's kind of where it all started for me. We moved there like when I would have been in middle school, and I was a soccer player before that, and then I kind of got into golf, and it's a lot less running in golf, which is what I really like, because I don't like to run. But I really took a taking to it at first. I really wanted to play, but just didn't really have the time to really do it with my parents. My dad worked for the government, so he was always away Monday through Friday, and obviously I was in school at that point. But eventually, I think I was about 13, I was on a family trip in Michigan. I finally played my first 18 holes. I shot like 150, but it was
like all of us when you pick up this game.
Oh my God, exactly. It's very humbling, but I played with my dad, my cousin, my uncle, and I think I was the only one that finished the last 2 holes, and that's when my dad knew I'd had a bug for it. So we got back from the trip. He signed me up for some lessons at Augustine Golf Club, and I think I was a member there for 3 years, and eventually started working there as a bag drop guy and worked myself all the way up to assistant.
It's amazing. There's a lot of people that would say golf is for everyone, and I kind of disagree with that a little bit. When you play golf, you have to enjoy it. You have to have a little appetite for it, and it can be very frustrating. Most people do enjoy it if they have the right attitude, but I think your dad did a great thing when you were young. He knew you had a little bit of a passion for it, and he got you lessons immediately, and I think that's a great lesson for a lot of golfers.
Yeah, I think that's what really helped me become the golfer I am today, because before I had any bad habits developed or anything, I got lessons. I was 13, I didn't know what I was doing. Kind of taught me how to hold the club, how to address the ball, what the clubs do and all that. I think back then I was hitting a 5-wood 150 yards, and my 7-iron was my 100-yard club when I hit it good, 1 out of 10 tries. So come a long way since then.
And now you're a PGA professional and you're giving lessons, but it really is a great way to learn the game of golf. I actually didn't start playing golf until I was 27 years old. I was a baseball player, pretty much through college and growing up and playing baseball, a very different swing than a golf swing, and you have to learn a little different. And I've had a lot of lessons along the way, but obviously learning younger is probably the better way to handle that.
Absolutely, your body's going to develop around the golf swing. And funny you mentioned baseball. If you put me in a batting cage, I'd probably miss every single ball. I think that was the last time I did it. I missed every ball. So baseball is not for me. I don't know. That's got to be the hardest sport there is on planet Earth. Just trying to hit a pitch coming at you at 100 miles an hour. So a lot of respect to them on that one. But
absolutely. And what's amazing, as a former baseball player many years ago, played at Salisbury University. Back then it was Salisbury State College, and played a lot of baseball in the summertime as well. And now I look at these pitchers, how hard they're throwing, the different movement on the ball, and how crazy it is. And you see some of the averages. It really is hard to hit a baseball. They're throwing it so hard. The reaction time is incredible. And yet we still struggle hitting a golf ball that's sitting on a tee or laying on the ground.
That's amazing, right? It's like the ball's not even moving. We can't even hit it straight to save our lives. And baseball players can hit that ball that's moving. But yeah, for a ball that's not moving, it's stationary on that tee. It's amazing how much everyone struggles. Even the best players in the world struggle.
No question, no question. This game is the type of game where you can come out if you're, the tour players. You see one guy will shoot 67 one day and come out the next day and shoot 77. That's how humbling this game is. So let's go back to Stafford, Virginia. You're young. You're introduced to the game of golf. You started, and there's some great courses in your area. In the Fredericksburg area, Augustine, and I think the Cannon Club is
it was
Cannon Ridge.
Cannon Ridge.
Right.
Yeah.
2 great golf courses in that area.
The Cannon actually closed down about 10 years ago. Long story there, but I was there for 3 seasons, and that's where I really feel like I've really started playing a lot better golf. We had a really good group of members there that I got to play with every Saturday and Sunday, and I think the worst guy in the group was about 5. So playing with them every weekend and throwing $20 in the pot, kind of learned to play hard really quick, and I think that really helped because that's when my handicap was the lowest, just playing with those guys over there.
Well, it's amazing. I think you do get better playing with better golfers too.
I agree 100%.
And I think that's in any sport, whether you're a kid, and if you're younger, you're the younger kid, and you're playing with older kids, play pickup basketball or any sport. You know, it gives you a little sense of toughness, and you want to compete. And nobody wants to be the worst at anything, for sure.
Correct. You know, if you're playing with a bunch of guys that are better than you, you're going to tighten up and play a little bit better yourself. You know, just kind of get to their level. You know, and that definitely helps every player out there. So, like, if you're playing with a bunch of guys that are, you know, not very good and you're much better than they are, you know, try to find some better golfers to play with. That definitely helps your game in the long run, for sure.
No question. And one of the things, too, not to drag the point to death, but when you learn the game young and when you take lessons, you're going to enjoy it more. And it's hard to enjoy something if you're bad at it. And in order to get decent at golf, I think you have to work it out a little bit, you have to spend some time, and you have to have the proper instruction. So I would encourage everyone out there, if you have children and they want to play golf, or if you're just taking up the game and you're an adult, get lessons, get some help, get some professional instruction, because it's definitely going to make a difference to your game. Well, John, let's get back to your journey and how you got here to Ocean City, Maryland. I know your parents retired here, and then your sister moved here and was actually working here. A job came available, and they hired you, and I guess the rest is history.
The rest is history. That was back in 2014, I think, when I came and interviewed and everything right after Christmas. And, you know, I started that following March in 2015 and loved every minute of it. I can't believe it's my 9th season here already. It's crazy.
We'll take a quick break right here on the Endless Golf Podcast. We'll come back more with John Good and talk about his relationships with the members here at Glen Riddle, as well as all the folks in the area, the golfers that come on the packages, and his job as Director of Golf at Glen Riddle. So stay with us.
And now a word from our sponsor.
I love a good adventure, and my friends and family do too. So we all drive Toyotas. Tacomas for my rugged buds, and Corollas for my city crew. And I drive a RAV4 that I take camping, shopping, and basically everywhere else. We all picked our Toyotas because they're reliable and efficient and have amazing resale value, saving us money now and down the road, so we can make every day an adventure. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals and inventory. Toyota, let's go places.
And welcome back to the Endless Golf Podcast presented by Toyota. Staying with me is Director of Golf from Glen Riddle Golf Club, John Good. And John, we talked about your early years playing golf and how you got here to Glen Riddle. And your journey here began under Scott Daly, who was the Director of Golf then. And Scott was a really hard worker, really well liked among the members. And then Scott left, and then you took over as Director of Golf. And I'll tell you what, you got to know a lot of the members. And one of the things that I've been impressed with you as being the professional here, as a member here, is when you run tournaments and when you run events, you do a super job. You know, you really pay attention to all the details. You're a good communicator. And a lot of people may not know that, but when you're a golf professional, communication with the members as well as the guest here is very important.
Oh, very. I mean, communication is important in all facets of life, pretty much, you know, personal and professional. So, I mean, that's the biggest part. I mean, if you're not communicating with your staff or the guys that are running the event, nothing's going to work right. So, and like tournaments have always been probably my favorite part of the whole business of golf. You know, like where I used to work in Virginia, like we used to do corporate outings all the time and only having one golf course. That was a big bulk of our business, was having big events. Here it's kind of the opposite. It's more of like the package play that we get, the membership and all that. So a little bit different, but I do love running the tournament, especially like your event, our member guest event. Like I can't even explain to you how amazing it is for me to be able to, you know, be a part of the member guest tournament, let alone run it.
And I think the members really feel that as well. I mean, you really enjoy it. You put a lot of passion, a lot of time and effort into it. And there's a balance here as being the Director of Golf, because as you alluded to, there's a very active membership here. The membership here, you have 2 great golf courses. Obviously, we get to play Man of War and War Admiral. But in addition to that, we get to play Lighthouse Sound, Rum Point, and Nutters Crossing. And so you've got to deal with the membership as well as the package play. This is not a private golf club, and that's a balance that really takes, you know, a lot of work and a lot of effort to pull off.
Yep, it's a lot of time as well. I mean, I got a good staff under me that definitely help out greatly, and they don't get enough credit as it is. So they make me look really good a lot of times. So I can't thank all of them enough.
And as I mentioned earlier, we just did an episode of Endless Golf, and if you have a chance, check that out. Endless Golf airs on MASN on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. and then AT&T Sportsnet up in Pittsburgh, and also here locally on the shore. But we want to mention too, Two great golf courses. If you haven't played any of the golf courses here at Glenroe Golf Club, you're really missing out. And a Ruth Chris Steakhouse inside the clubhouse, and the clubhouse really spectacular here.
All the history with the Man of War and War Admiral back in the 20s, the original stable that the clubhouse is built around. You know, it's the houses of the clubhouse, the Ruth Chris Steakhouse, and honestly, it's the best steak I've ever had in my life, still to this day.
All right, if you're looking for a great place to play golf or a great place to join, I can certainly recommend the Glenroe Golf Club right here in Ocean City, Maryland. John Good is always a great host. He's their director of golf, does a great job, him and his staff. So I highly recommend stopping by here, playing golf. Enjoy the restaurant, as John alluded to. You will not be disappointed, that's for sure. John, great spending time with you.
I appreciate it, Bobby.
All right,
Thanks so
I'll be
much.
back with another edition of the Endless Golf Podcast. So long, everybody.
The Endless Golf Podcast has been brought to you by Toyota.